I've been going to different schools to talk to the youth about how they can get involved and what they can do to keep this movement going. And I went to a couple of schools. One of the schools that I went to was Hamilton, and that's in Los Angeles. First, I went to a debate that they had about whether GMOs should be labeled or not. After that, the teacher asked me if I could go and talk to one of their classes, and I talked to I think it was anatomy class, and everybody was just very upset that corporations were doing this to us. Basically, I just talked to them about what they can do as teenagers, as students, what they can do to get involved. A couple of the things that I told them was that they can send letters to their school PTA, and they can ask them to please implement GMO-free lunches at the school. A problem that I have is I have a lot of food allergies, and this is very difficult for me because I want to be able to eat the food that my school serves without being afraid that it's going to get me ill. A couple of ideas that we had was to ask the school's PTA and the school principals to implement a GMO-free lunch menu. What this means is that, unfortunately, we would still keep the GMO food in the cafeteria, but now the students will have a chance to choose whether they want to eat genetically modified or not. Another topic that we talked about was having a garden at the school. It's very important because this generation is the generation that grew up with technology, so a lot of us are kind of separating from this connection that we have with nature. So what would be really interesting in having more gardens at schools, we can use the food that we grow and have salad bars. Include it into the food that they already serve in schools, and this food that we grow would be healthy, organic, and non-GMO. Another thing that we talked about was outreaching on social media. Facebook, we created a Facebook page that's Teens Against GMOs. I have cousins in Bolivia, and I've been talking to them, and they are also trying to get involved with this because this is very important for all of us. I got a lot of volunteers. They helped me at the Ciclavilla event, and a couple of them came with their bikes and they rode and had a bunch of signs, and we kind of got the creative people made cool banners, and kind of everyone just put a little into that event, and it worked out really good. So at my school, we had a mock election day on November 4th. We would go into a classroom and we would be able to vote on the propositions. The results came back and 80% of our school voted to label genetically modified food. On November 6th, we had a debate in every single class talking about the elections, and in the beginning of my U.S. history class, the people, about 3/4 of the classroom were on the no side, and then by the time that I got up there and told them about the side effects, I moved pretty much everyone to the yes label genetically modified food. On November 6th, I woke up and I was very nervous, very excited. I thought we were going to win for sure. I went and talked on a couple of radio stations to just give a little debrief, and then all the leaders got together at this GMO-free restaurant, and we just talked about the proposition. I was kind of disappointed to find out that we lost. I got even more motivated because now I realized that we started a revolution, a food revolution that we hadn't been able to do until now. So I was very empowered and encouraged to keep going on with this. Thank you, and I would just like to say for everyone that's listening to please get involved and find out for yourself. Don't just take my word for it, but ask questions and find out for yourself what GMOs are. Thank you.